All right. All right, y'all get in here. Shout out to Judge O'Donnell. Let's talk about it. All right, so they don't have a mug shot of Judge O'Donnell quite yet, but I think this is him right here. Let's go. They say the sheriff, when the sheriffs came out there, he was yelling, "Hey, come on, Judge. Why you doing that? Come on, Judge O'Donnell. Why you doing it? Come on." All right, y'all get in here, share this out real fast. We're going to talk about it. I got some other things I want to talk about too, but in the meantime, come on, Judge O'Donnell. I mean, the man just announced his retirement, and now he got to. Whoop that trick. Y'all see it. The city of Georgetown's chief judge, Robbie O'Donnell, arrested Thursday afternoon, charged in connection with alleged domestic violence. The incident in the report, a lady was taken to the hospital after suffering severe. Well, I ain't gonna say severe, but she was damaged. She was beat up a little bit, and it's alleged that this judge from Georgetown, which this was actually first reported on Facebook by Modesty Chick. I don't know what her real name is, but young lady from Georgetown, and she got a lot of flack because she reported it, and she was on Gab because she was like, okay, boom, 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 boom. But I can understand where her frustration is when it comes to Gab News and all this other good stuff, because just think about this, y'all. It is right now, it is 10 p.m., right? 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And I want you guys to consider, maybe you had somebody that got arrested at some point. Let's see. So this is 10 o'clock, and these things came out. Let's see. Modesty Dior Sanchez was on Facebook. What time was this? This was early. This is like before 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. So we're looking at 5 hours later, right? And here is how they do it in Georgetown, South Carolina. Of course, they're going to protect their own. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened with Judge, but he had to go all hustle and flow on the lady out there, auditioning for Hustle and Flow 2, apparently. But here's something I want to bring to you guys' attention, right? So we're looking at 5 hours later from when that incident took place, right? And you got to ask yourself, how long does it take to book somebody and get a mugshot, right? Because that is what is not up there. Now, here, you're going to see on the screen here in a second, I just went to booking and all that other stuff, Georgetown County booking, just to see if they had already booked in a good judge who's accused of domestic violence. And I wonder, does he sit over domestic violence cases? Like if a domestic violence case happens in the city of Georgetown, is this the judge that you would go and see? Would he preside over that type of a case? Has he presided over any of you guys' case? But I wanted to show you here, booking and release. See, this guy here was booked today. Yeah, the 17th. He was booked and they got a mugshot on him. Okay, this person here was booked today, and they got a mugshot on her. 717 at 15:45 would have been 3:45. This person here was booked at 6:18. Okay, so theoretically, this person was in jail while this incident was going on. Okay, and we don't have any pictures or anything yet. Now we see here, this person here was arrested today at 11 a.m. 45-year-old black male. Here's a 34-year-old white female. She was arrested today at 10:50 p.m. Well, she was booked at. No, I'm sorry. She was booked at 3:50 a.m., which was 7 before day today, and then she was released by 10. So she was in there for approximately 7 hours. Okay, and she was in there, whatever. And then you got this guy here, Mr. whatever his name is, domestic violence. Another domestic violence, right? And he was booked in today at 13:54 would have been, that would be 1:54 p.m. And, you know, just got these people mugshot up and away really, really fast. And I'm finding it very strange that the good judge has not had a mugshot done yet. So we'll put this mugshot up for Judge O'Donnell right now. Okay. And I really need some people from Georgetown to get in the comment section and let me know, because I don't know a lot about this judge. I just heard this was going on the internet, and I'm on it. Don't know a lot about the judge. Haven't had any experiences with the judge in Georgetown, fortunately. But I would like to know from some people in Georgetown that has dealt with this judge. Was he a fair judge? Was he, you know what I mean? Apparently he was a popular judge because he's being named as the top judge in Georgetown. And he recently retired. Let me find that article. See that. This is crazy because it just came out that he was retiring, or maybe taking a lesser role, because the city has named a new person. Let me find that report. Where is that? Oh, that's going to be in the back of here. Georgetown County Sheriff, of course, Carter Weaver said this remains under investigation, so he declined to comment. He said the incident report is expected to be released on Friday. The incident came the same day it was announced that O'Donnell was semi-retiring after 49 years as the city's top judge. That is too long to be in a judgeship in a one area. That's too much. On Wednesday night, Georgetown City Council voted unanimously to promote Associate Judge Randy Stevens to the Chief Judge position effective August 1st. It was announced O'Donnell would be becoming the assistant judge. So he's not stepping down. Now, I wonder how this changes the complexion of that. You know what I mean? Now you've got a judge who has been arrested, and again, he, like everybody else, is we're giving the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in the court of law. However, law enforcement judges and these types are held to a higher standard than the average civilian who doesn't work in law enforcement, who hasn't taken an oath to uphold the law. So, again, this took place today. There's no mugshot as of yet. I'll keep checking. Matter of fact, let me go over here and refresh, because maybe they have changed that up since then. I don't know, but we'll see here. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to put Mr. O'Donnell up here, Mr. O'Donnell Turner. I mean, let's speculate a little bit, y'all. What could have possibly transpired between him and his wife, if this is true? Okay, according to our reports, it's true. But what could have transpired between this 77-year-old judge and his wife, to where it ends up into a and I mean, y'all know how it is. Y'all, those of you who are in long-term relationships or been in relationships, you know, things can go crazy really, really fast. Being a judge does not absolve you of the problems that you have with your spouse, or, you know, whatever the situation is. But my question is, what, you know, I'm curious as to what could have transpired to cause him to go off in this manner, to where he's just like, man, bump it. I'm gonna do the DJ thing. I'm gonna whip this trick, and that's what he did. Not calling his wife a trick or whatever, but you know, that's what he did. That's what he did. Some hustle and flow type thing. Yeah. That's what we got. Georgetown County Judge out of it, man. I just put a video up about police corruption. And that particular thing took place in Louisiana. Let me share this with you guys real fast. Let me share this with you real fast. Here you go.
3 Louisiana police chiefs and a town marshal accused of taking bribes, all to help immigrants cheat the visa system. This isn't just corruption, it's betrayal from the top. The federal indictment says that these men, Chad Doyle.
Okay, let me stop this. This is not supposed to be doing that. Come on. I'm not supposed to be doing that. Let's try this. Take some pressure off of it.
Glenn Dixon, Tebow Onisha, and Marshall Joey Thibodeau took $5,000 each to create fake. 3 Louisiana police chiefs and a town marshal accused of taking bribes, all to help immigrants cheat the visa system. This isn't just corruption, it's betrayal from the top.
All right, that sounds horrible. That sounds horrible. Let me see if I can pull it up over here and maybe it'll go a little smoother. I'll do it this way. Let's try this. It won't work in there. I have to do it over there.
Indictment says that these men, Chad Doyle, Glenn Dixon, 3 Louisiana police chiefs and a town marshal accused of taking bribes, all to help immigrants cheat the visa system. This isn't just corruption, it's betrayal from the top. The federal indictment says that these men, Chad Doyle, Glenn Dixon, Tebow Onisha, and Marshal Joey Thibodeau took $5,000 each to create fake police reports. The purpose? To help immigrants fraudulently qualify for U visas by claiming they were victims of violent crimes that never happened. The mastermind allegedly paid officials to write armed robbery reports, most of which were total fabrications. These were submitted to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services as part of a scam to get special legal protections. From 2015 to 2025, immigration facilitator Lala Patel paid officers to falsify reports. Prosecutors described hundreds of fraudulent submissions. 62 indictments of bribery, visa fraud, mail fraud, and money laundering. Patel even paid the local sheriff's office for certification. In total, they say hundreds of immigrants were falsely portrayed as crime victims, with law enforcement selling their badges for a price. The U visa program exists to protect real victims of crimes who help law enforcement. These fake reports not only undermined the system, but they also took resources away from people who truly needed help. When officers use their power for profit, the damage ripples far beyond the paperwork. All 4 men have been federally charged. If convicted, they face decades in prison. Their towns, small, rural, tight-knit, now face a crisis of trust and reputation. The FBI is calling it one of the most disturbing abuses of police authority in recent history. Thanks for watching. If you want more breakdowns of stories like this, subscribe and drop your thoughts in the comments. Should these officers get maximum penalties? Let us know below.
And just like in the case of these officers, the question I asked, should these officers get maximum penalties if Judge O'Donnell is guilty of what he is charged with, which I haven't seen any official charges yet, but if he's guilty of that, does he deserve a more harsher sentence than say me? I mean, I don't plan to be in no domestic violence situations no time ever soon or ever, but I don't think he planned to be in that either, but he just ended up in there. So but in this case right here, this is out of Louisiana, and this is something that the reason why this story caught my eye is because this is not the first time I've seen a story like this, right? Where a patel is paying a local law enforcement agency or officer or officers to help them obtain these U visas. And these U visas are, so if you're a victim of a crime, violent crime, that's not solved, that U visa allows you to stay in the United States longer. Okay. And so that's what was happening that's what they just busted there. But I want to take you guys back a little bit, back to, let me get this set up here. Move this. I want to take you a couple years back and where the same thing was happening here in South Carolina. The same, pretty much the same scheme. And so let me bring you back, take you back here. All right, and this is law enforcement officers charged in federal court with taking bribes and falsifying immigration documents. Same thing that's going on in Louisiana today. Documents and protect drug trafficking proceeds. This was all right. Columbia, South Carolina. United States Attorney Sherry Linden announced today 9 individuals, including 7 law enforcement officers, have been indicted in a federal court in South Carolina on visa fraud and drug charges. One of the schemes alleged in the indictment involved fraudulent non-immigrant visas, right? A U visa, which are set aside for victims of certain crimes who have suffered mental or physical abuse as a result of the crime. To obtain a U visa, a law enforcement officer must certify that the alien is assisting the law enforcement agency in investigation or prosecution of the crime of which the alien was a victim. According to the incident, 4 officers helped individuals obtain fraudulent U visas. And this took place when the individual that was arrested for this guy was literally right up the street from where I am right now. I just left their store. Well, he's not there, but there's another set of Indians there. Fraudulent by taking bribes and fraudulent certification and creating fraudulent incident reports indicating that the aliens were victims of crimes. The indictment further alleges that the officers took bribes in exchange for protecting methamphetamine and cocaine or proceeds of drug trafficking. These charges, the charge as to each defendant, the Springfield Police Department, which is right up the street from me, conspiracy, visa fraud, and the visa fraud is when them guys are providing fake police reports to these people saying that they were victims of crimes and they were not victims of crimes, and they were able to pass this information over to the immigration department, and these people were granted visas under these false pretenses. Springfield Police Department Officer Alan Hunter, conspiracy, visa fraud, same thing. Orangeburg County Sheriff Deputy Carolyn Coulter Franklin, conspiracy, visa fraud, conspiracy to possess with intent and distribute controlled substances. This is the sheriff's department. Okay. Orangeburg County Sheriff Deputy Nathaniel Miller Shazier. Okay. Orangeburg County Deputy Sheriff Deputy Stanley Lavelle Timmons. Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office Reserve Deputy James Albert Tucker. Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office Deputy Willie Paul Rogers, and this was Shubakumar Sonny. That's what we called him. Patel, Orangeburg conspiracy. Okay, and Tarang Patel, Newport, Kentucky, conspiracy, visa fraud. They're doing this thing all over the country. And again, this is back from 2019. 2019. Okay. If convicted, maximum penalty, and I don't know what the convictions were. I got to go back and look that up. Patel, maximum of 10 years in prison. With this indictment, we honor the hard work and dedication of the very fine officers of South Carolina who put the police uniform on every day, risk their lives to protect the rest of us. Some of them put it on to rob the rest of us. Said Attorney Linden, if allegations are provided, these defendants do not deserve to wear the badge and should not be allowed to bring disrepute on the overwhelming majority of men and women who in blue who serve South Carolina with integrity. Blah, 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 blah. But my point is that situation that took place out there in Louisiana, it's nothing new. It's always been done before. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was a very interesting tidbit. The fact that that same thing happened right up the street from me. And I think it still happens. So I don't know. But hopefully they look into that. I hope it's not a problem that the FBI director's last name happens to be Patel, and it's these Patel folks who continue to get caught up into this, who are pulling this U visa scam. So don't know. Anyway, well, let me double check back. Let me go back and check and see if the top judge has been listed yet. See if his mugshot has been provided yet. Because mysteriously now, and I start talking junk, oh, articles get posted, things get, you know what I mean? All right, let's see. Georgetown County mugshots. Booking and release. Okay. Anything changed? Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Distribution of cocaine. Forgery. What they got you for about working day? What they got you for? But I know who picture they don't have up there. Wonder why. So anyway, as soon as I get some updates on the story, I will reach back out to you guys. In the meantime, please hit the like button, hit the follow button.